Money can buy power. It can silence the law. It can erase mistakes. But can it buy loyalty? Can it bury guilt? In a world where the rich play by their own rules, one family believes no one is beyond their reach. Behind their empire's polished walls lies a web of betrayal, lust, and blood. When greed and desire collide, the cost becomes more than money can cover. This is the story of a dynasty rotting from within, a common employee trapped in their web, a woman destroyed by love, and a matriarch who mistakes control for strength. Welcome to a world where everyone has a price, until someone finally refuses to pay. If you think money can fix everything, this story will prove you wrong. Hit subscribe and let's step inside a world where every luxury hides a sin. The film opens with a man named Yoon Yo-jung entering a secure vault with his personal assistant and family driver, Joo Young-jak. They retrieve bundles of cash and load them into a suitcase. Yoon tells Young-jak to take some for himself like everyone else. Young-jak picks up a few stacks, hesitates, smells the money, then returns it and walks out with the suitcase. The Yoons are one of the richest families in Seoul, running a powerful conglomerate in South Korea. Yoon serves as president and shuttles suitcases of cash to officials to look the other way at the company's illegal dealings. But the real power rests with his wife, Baek Jum-oki. Her paralyzed father once built an empire and still holds shares in the company. For the Yoons, money solves everything. They believe no one can refuse the right price, and history keeps proving them right. The company buries scandals and silences prying eyes with limitless payouts. When their son, Chul, the company's CEO, is arrested and charged with corruption, Yoon bribes the judges with a massive sum to erase the case. As soon as the deal goes through, Gyum-ok calls her son in jail and tells him he will be released soon, warning him not to slip during the press conference that awaits him. Young-jak, Yoon's secretary and driver, comes from a humble background. He has witnessed enough to know how dirty the family operates, yet he minds his business and observes quietly. He navigates their world carefully, amused by the dysfunction that never seems to end. What surprises him most is how kindly their divorced daughter Nami treats him. After Chul's arrest, Robert Altman, a corrupt American businessman and one of their key partners, rages over Chul's recklessness. He threatens to pull out of a major deal if prosecution continues. The business is too critical to their fortune, so Gyum-ok swallows Altman's arrogance and assures him everything is under control and the incident will not affect their deal. Chul returns home and celebrates his release with Robert over glasses of champagne. He promises that money will fix everything, and they have more than enough. Later, Altman joins the family for an elegant dinner where they discuss politics and the company's future. Young-jak heads to Robert's apartment afterward to handle one of his routine assignments, making sure Robert stays satisfied with hookers so he keeps the partnership intact. When Young-jak returns home, Gyum-ok tells him to ask her husband to join them in the sitting room if he isn't too tired. Young-jak walks in on Yoon and the housemaid, Eva, having intimacy, an image he wishes he never saw. Meanwhile, Robert and Chul are having a massage section when Chul brings up the idea of creating a slush fund to streamline payments for their illegal dealings. He is tired of hauling cash around. He later presents the idea to the family. His grandfather approves without hesitation. Nami remains indifferent that it might backfire but does not oppose the plan. Outside the house, Eva and Young-jak talk about the encounter from the night before. He warns her she is playing a dangerous game. She says she feels safe as long as he stays silent, and he assures her she has nothing to fear from him. On their way back, he learns she is divorced with 2 children and came to Korea for better opportunities. From the money she earns here, she pays the nanny who cares for her kids. That night, in her private CCTV room, Gyum-ok stumbles onto the live feed of her husband and Eva having sex. The sight sends her into a silent rage. She storms downstairs to confront him but stops at the door, turns away, and vents her fury on her headset instead. She chooses to punish them quietly. At breakfast, she waits for her moment, then grips Eva by the throat without a word. The message lands. Eva understands Gyum-ok has discovered the affair. The next day, Yoon takes Eva to the airport to pick up her children, who had just arrived for the holidays. He treats them to an outdoor lunch with Nami present. He already suspects his wife knows about the affair and blames Young-jak for exposing it. Young-jak denies it, but Yoon refuses to believe him. Nami also knows about the affair and seems unbothered, but she voices disappointment in Yoon's recklessness and the chaos it might bring on the whole family. Yoon laughs, expressing that his life with Gum-ok has always been chaotic. He accuses Young Jack of snitching to win her favor. This angers Young Jack, but he holds his anger and calmly tells him it is all a misunderstanding. On the drive back, Nami notices Young Jack's annoyance and reassures him she believes he didn't snitch on her father. She says he would also want to protect Eva after the bond they've built over the years. Young Jack remains quiet, and she gently brushes his hand to calm him down. Back home, Nami discusses the situation with her mother and learns she discovered the affair through a hidden camera. She advises her to send Eva home quietly instead of suffering in silence or fueling scandal. She also questions why there is a camera in her father's room. Gyeum-ok says she has never trusted Yoon and has her reasons. When Nami retires for the night, Gyeum-ok tells Young Jack to stay. She breaks down, sobbing, her misery spilling into the open. Young Jack freezes, stunned to see her vulnerable. He hands her a tissue. She airs her frustration, then clings to him. Confused, he tries to steady her. She suddenly unbuttons his shirt. He reaches to stop her, but she orders him to stay still. She presses her lips to his chest. Disgust flashes across his face, and he tries to resist, but she refuses to let go. With no way out, Young Jack gives in. After, he sits in the tub, repulsed by what had just happened. The next morning, he approaches her to resign. She says if it is about the previous night, he should forget it. She promises it will not happen again and tells him to treat it like a one-night fling people his age indulge in. She ends the conversation and says they will talk later. Later, Gyeum-ok summons him to her room. Young Jack walks in cautiously and buttons his shirt, expecting another advance. Instead, she leads him into her secret CCTV room. She tells him to sit and watch, then leaves for breakfast. Downstairs, the family discusses Yoon's infidelity. He shows no remorse and announces he wants to become a better man for the first time in his life. He has never felt this way until Eva. He plans to leave everything and be with her. Besides, Gyeum-ok never saw him as a good husband or father, so she should stop tormenting him and let him go. The words cut her deeper than she expects. Chul, unfazed by the emotional fallout, worries only about who will take over his father's role in the family business. Gyeum-ok answers without hesitation. Young Jack will assume the position. With some grooming, he will learn fast and remain loyal. In the CCTV room, Young Jack listens to everything. When she returns, she asks if he has anything to say. He says no. The next day, while packing his belongings, Nami asks Yoon why he even bothered to marry her mother. He says he did it for the money. Even though the marriage was miserable, he stayed to keep access to the wealth. In the end, the life he chose filled him with contempt. Nami walks him to the car while Gyeum-ok and Chul watch from the window. At the airport, Yoon learns he has been banned from leaving the country, another move by Gyeum-ok to protect the family during their legal troubles. He tells Eva to fly ahead with her children and promises to join them later. Eva refuses to leave without him and sends the kids back to the Philippines alone, waiting to return with him. However, she has no idea this will be her greatest mistake. Yoon and Eva check into a hotel and continue their affair while waiting for the ban to lift. With Yoon gone, Young Jack takes over delivering suitcases of cash to officials. This time, he pockets bundles for himself and smiles at his reflection. He believes his chance to grow rich has finally arrived. He has no idea how dark the road ahead will get. Soon after, the family discovers Eva is pregnant, deepening Gyeum-ok's resentment and bitterness. However, she doubts the possibility. Years earlier, during Yoon's reckless cheating, she forced him into getting a vasectomy to prevent him fathering children elsewhere. She vows to punish them both for humiliating her. On their way to a business meeting with Altman, the family runs into Yoon. He begs Gyeum-ok to stop tormenting him and let him go. Gyeum-ok suggests he bring Eva to the house so they can talk. Yoon tells her there is nothing left to discuss. At the meeting, Chul is arrested for arranging a slush fund. The family suspects Yoon set them up. Back home, Young Jack advises Gyeum-ok to lift the travel ban and end the problems, but she shuts him down and vows never to allow it. Later that night, Young Jack waits in the car with another employee, expecting Yoon. He soon realizes Gum-ok has arranged for men to kidnap Eva. The awareness crushes him. Guilt swallows him whole. The following night, Eva's body floats lifeless in the pool. The family watch without emotion until Yoon bursts outside and dives in, wailing as he reaches for her. Young-jak jumps into the water, pulls Yoon out, then lifts Eva's body into his arms. Panic and pain crash over him as he holds her lifeless body. After Yoon is placed on bed rest, Nami confronts her mother. Gum-ok moves around the house with disturbing ease, showing no sign of guilt. When Nami confronts her, she asks how she lives with herself. Gum-ok snaps and warns her to watch her words, insisting Eva simply drowned while swimming. Nami can't process how her mother carries on like she's simply stepped on a cockroach. The darkness surrounding the family finally pushes Young-jak to consider leaving with the money he has stashed. Eva's death devastates him, and fear creeps in that worse is coming. That night, a group of men abduct him and take him to a secret location. They show him fabricated footage of Eva's death and warn him to stay quiet. When they release him, he returns home and finds Nami waiting outside his room. Inside, they talk about the cruelty her family inflicts on the powerless. Nami admits she has feelings for him, and he tells her he has always known. She leans in, but he is too shaken and asks her to wait. The timing is wrong, and the air is still heavy. After Eva's death, Yoon becomes a shadow of himself and becomes suicidal. While soaking in the bath one day, he slits his wrist and sings his favorite song, which he had been singing since the incident. Young-jak and Nami arrive to find the water in the bath has become red. Young-jak wraps his wrist to stop the bleeding. When Gum-ok rushes in, she's horrified at the sight. Yoon tells her to stay away because he despises her. He recounts the years of torment from her and her father. Nami hugs him, knowing how far he has fallen. He blames himself for everything, including Chul's reckless behavior that keeps attracting the authorities. They later rush him to the hospital. Still unsettled by how Eva died, Young-jak and Nami visit the morgue to examine her body again. He wants an autopsy, but it is beyond him. Later, Young-jak, Nami, and Altman drive to pick up Chul from jail. During the ride back, Chul carelessly mentions that Young-jak secured his new position by sleeping with their mother. Rage surges through Young-jak. He stops the car and orders Chul to get out. Altman tries to intervene, but Young-jak shoves him aside and drags Chul onto the road for a fight. Chul apologizes, but Young-jak refuses to let it go. Chul accepts, and the fight unfolds quickly. Young-jak has no fighting skills and takes blow after blow without landing a single hit. Chul knocks him to the ground, kicks him, then drives off with Altman, leaving Nami and Young-jak behind. When Nami tries to help him up, he admits what Chul said is true. The revelation leaves her frozen and speechless. Back home, Young-jak gathers all the money he kept for himself. Forgetting his own escape plan, he places the cash in Eva's coffin. What once felt like an opportunity now feels like rot in his hands. Yoon doesn't survive his injuries, having lost too much blood. After his funeral, Gum-ok instructs Young-jak to escort Eva's body back to the Philippines. She offers him a month off and promises a promotion on his return. He turns her down. When she questions what he will do if he quits the job, he tells her he will finally be able to breathe. She brings up his relationship with Nami and hopes he knows what he is getting into. Nami cuts in and points out that it seems both mother and daughter have slept with Young-jak and asks if that feels morally sound. Gum-ok becomes speechless, stunned that Nami knows her secret. Her father overhears and calls them idiots. Even Chul, disturbed by how twisted things have become, walks away. Young-jak leaves mother and daughter to iron it out. Gum-ok apologizes for everything, claiming loneliness and lack of choice pushed her to sleep with Young-jak. Nami tells her she has always been selfish, caring only about herself and her father's money, and never thinks about the consequences of her actions. After Nami walks out, Gum-ok breaks down and pours her frustration on Yoon's lifeless body, blaming him for everything that has fallen apart. Later, Nami and Young-jak share a long embrace before he leaves. Young-jak departs with Eva's body. He doesn't realize Nami has boarded the flight as well. While he sleeps peacefully for the first time in a while, Nami appears and swaps seats with his seatmate. When he wakes, he is shocked to see her. Nami explains she looked into his encounter with her mother, and it legally counts as sexual assault. Others have endured similar situations, and he has no reason to be ashamed. Neither should it ruin what they have. Young Jack exhales, finally at ease. The two slip into the airplane lavatory before the flight attendant stops them. Inside, they share a passionate moment that has waited to surface for far too long. In the aftermath, they arrive at Eva's home with the coffin. Her children wait, unaware of what has happened. Young Jack and Nami stand there, too broken to speak. When Eva's daughter looks into the coffin and calls out for her mother, young Jack turns away before he breaks. The rain pouring on his face masks the tears he can't hold back. And that's the price of power. A mansion full of secrets, a fortune built on guilt, and not a single soul left clean. If your family drama ever makes you feel broke, just remember, at least you're not rich enough to ruin everyone around you. Drop a comment if you'd survive a week in this household, hit that like button before someone bribes the algorithm, and subscribe for more stories where money can buy everything, except peace.